Aggies, congrats on finishing out the 2020-21 academic year strong. We know this year was a difficult one and are proud of all of you for your perseverance and response to the adversity. It was great to see most of you practicing and competing once again. We look forward to things continuing to look a little more normal in the coming months. As you get ready to hopefully relax a bit for the summer, please keep in mind some really important rules for situations that may come up to ensure you protect your eligibility. If you are planning on taking any summer courses at somewhere other than UC Davis, for example, a local junior college back home, please make sure you're sending those transcripts to the UC Davis admissions office and working with your outcomes advisor to make sure the courses are transferable. Also, please make sure you're working closely with your outcomes advisor to have your completed academic plan form, or APF, submitted for the 21-22 academic year prior to the deadlines. Make sure you're checking your emails constantly for important APF reminders. Be on the lookout for an email from the athletic certification officials after each quarter. That email contains important updates related to your eligibility and any actions required, such as declaring your major. Please check with your outcomes advisor if you have any questions related to the NCAA rules regarding eligibility.
If you will be receiving any outside scholarships for the 21-22 academic year, you will need to report those scholarships to ICA Compliance Services and the UC Davis Financial Aid and Scholarships Office. To report your outside scholarships to ICA Compliance Services, please indicate all outside scholarships you have been awarded on your 21-22 outside aid form in ARMS when you are assigned forms this fall. All outside scholarship and awards must be reported to the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office. Students who are awarded a scholarship or award directly, for example via check, and that is not included on My Awards must notify the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office using the Change in Aid form. Please note that students may be billed for any aid received in excess of their financial need. Outside scholarship checks should be made payable to UC Regents and sent directly to the cashier's office. Payment should be accompanied by a memo stating the student-athlete's full name and UC ID number. Please log into your My Awards account and check to see if you have any outstanding requirements for your financial aid package. If you have been selected for FAFSA verification, please complete all those requirements by September 1st. If you need help with FAFSA verification, please use the Contact an Expert tool on My UC Davis.
Aggies, just like the academic year, the NCAA limits the amount of hours a student may participate in countable athletically related activity over the summer. For the most part, CARE is not permissible during the summer. However, students can still participate in voluntary activities. In order for an activity to be voluntary, it must be initiated and requested solely by you, the student athlete. Coaches and other sport-specific non-coaching staff members, such as directors of operations, cannot be in attendance. There can be no required reporting of any information related to the activity back to a coach or other athletics department staff members. Attendance and participation in the activity may not be recorded for the purpose of reporting such information to a coaching staff member or other student athletes. And finally, lack of participation in the activity cannot be penalized, nor can attendance be incentivized. For individual sports, a coach may be present for voluntary activity if you request their presence at the activity in writing, for example, by sending them a text message or an email. For sports with safety exceptions, coaches may also be present during voluntary workouts at a UC Davis practice facility when you request their presence and are engaged in an individual skill work. However, a coach may only be there for safety and may not conduct the workout. Aggies, you may use an outside coach or trainer, provided a UC Davis staff member or coach are not involved in any way in arranging the activity. Coaches do not observe the activity. The activity does not occur on UC Davis campus or our facilities. You pay the going rate for the activity. Discounted rates are not permissible. And the outside coach or trainer does not use you in any advertisement. Running afoul in this area can have serious consequences, including being deemed ineligible along with potential major NCAA infractions. Please contact your ICA compliance liaison with any questions or scenarios.
Generally, outside competition in team sports is limited to the institution's vacation period, for example, the summer vacation. There is an exception for the sports of soccer, women's volleyball, field hockey, and men's water polo. Student athletes who compete in an individual sport may compete in outside competition during vacation periods and the regular academic year. Those student athletes must represent only themselves, not receive any expenses from an outside team, competing in an open event. If you plan on competing in outside competition, please fill out the outside competition declaration form in ARMS prior to participating with an outside team or in an outside event. If you have any questions, please contact your compliance liaison. Impermissible outside competition can have significant impacts on your eligibility, so please make sure you communicate with your compliance liaison prior to participating. You may accept prize money based on your place, finish, or performance in athletic events provided the following. Prize money may not exceed actual and necessary expenses. Prize money may be provided only by the sponsor of the event. The calculation of actual and necessary expenses may not include the expenses or fees of anyone other than you, for example, coaches' fees or parent expenses.
Summer is a great time to earn extra money. If you decide to get a summer job, you'll need to complete the Student Athlete Employment Summer Form in ARMS. To ensure you do not risk your eligibility, remember these key points when searching for a job. You can only be paid for work that you actually perform. You may only get compensated at the going rate of pay for the area. Your employer may not use your reputation as a UC Davis student athlete to benefit their business. Sometimes this employment includes providing private lessons, which are also known as fee-for lessons by the NCAA. You will need to remember the following rules and also notify the ICA Compliance Services Office before you give any lessons. UC Davis facilities cannot be used. You cannot simply play against the lesson recipient. You have to actually teach a skill or provide instruction. You must have prior approval from the ICAA Compliance Services Office. And finally, your compensation must be paid by the lesson recipient or the recipient's family and not by another individual or entity.
Throughout your athletic career here at Davis, you can be subject to unannounced and random drug testing at any time, including over the summer. Please be on the lookout for the Student Athlete Summer Contact Form in ARMS and fill this form out as soon as possible in order to ensure the compliance office knows how to reach you if you are selected for a drug test. For all drug tests, remember these points. A positive test for a banned drug other than a street drug will make you ineligible for 365 calendar days, and you will lose 1 year of eligibility. A student athlete who tests positive for a street drug will be withheld for 50% of the season in all sports. If you don't show up for a test, it'll be counted as a positive. If you are tested by a national or international athletics organization and test positive, you are required to notify the athletic director and the ICA Compliance Services Office. You may be contacted by an incoming student athlete to stay with you over the summer to participate in voluntary workouts. If you house incoming student athletes, please remember the following. They must pay the going rate to live at your house, apartment, etc. The going rate is calculated by taking the total rent for your housing divided by 30.42, or the average days in a month, divided by the total number of people staying in the house, including the incoming student athlete, divided by the total number of days that individual is staying. Your compliance liaison may reach out to you to confirm any incoming student athletes have paid their portion of rent. And remember, your coaches cannot force you to house incoming student athletes. Please reach out to your compliance liaison with any questions or concerns.
Aggies, we know you interact with a lot of different people in your life, especially when you go back home for the summer. Please remember that you cannot receive any extra benefits from a booster or any institutional staff member. Some examples include use of a car, gifts, cash, loans, free services, and free tickets for any kind of entertainment. Free or reduced merchandise from a store or restaurant, unless it's available to the general public. Free or reduced room and board or utilities from a booster. This includes in Davis, your home city, or any other location. Members of the athletic department staff, including tutors, may not type or write papers or take exams for you. A permissible extra benefit is an occasional meal. Athletic department staff, including coaches, may take you to a restaurant or their home. A booster may have you in their home for a meal or host a meal on the UC Davis campus. They may also provide transportation for you from your residence to his or her home and back to your residence.
As you may have heard, the NCAA recently passed legislation that allows for a uniform one-time transfer exception across all sports. If for some reason you want to leave UC Davis after this year, you must be in the transfer portal by July 1st, 2021 to be eligible for the one-time transfer exception for the 21-22 academic year. Remember that there may be more strict rules if you are looking to transfer to another school within your conference. Please reach out to your compliance liaison for any questions or concerns and for guidance on how to be placed on the transfer portal.